Well, for those of you in the celebration already, welcome in. We are getting started here. I am going to make our host, Evans Putman, a host so he can take it away. So bear with us 1 minute.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We got Ann, Dan, Derek, Emily, Jackson. All right, Jacob, crew. All right, looks like I am host now. So welcome all of y'all. Sorry if I didn't hit your name during that introduction, but we appreciate y'all being here today with us. So I am going to just make a quick change here for us, David, and we'll get going. Okay, so welcome everybody. Welcome to the BBEA24-Day celebration presented by the South Carolina Football Hall of Fame and the NFL Alumni Association, South Carolina chapter. We're excited to get going. More on that in a second, but I wanted to toss it over to our honored guest here, Dexter Davis, to lead us in a quick prayer, and then we will kick off.
Be honored to. May we pray. God, we thank you for this day that you have made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, Father God. We thank you for the 64 young men who will be honored and have been just recognized for excellence in that service watchword, Father God, just being of service. And God, we thank you for all that they continue to do. Maximize their footprints, Father God. Give them an unction, God, to lead wherever they go. We thank you for the fine state of South Carolina where you've allowed them to play their football and just grow this several illustrations of why you love South Carolina so much in your gospel as you grew up in Bethlehem, which is a little bit south of Jerusalem, Father God. So we know you got a special place in your heart for the South. So as the South Carolina for high school football players get ready to live out and max out the light that you've given them, we thank you for them in advance and their families. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Dexter. We appreciate you. So welcome again, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. My name's Evans Putman. I'm a business owner here in South Carolina. I'm the founder of Podcast Profit School and the creator of the Servepreneur Movement and Servepreneur Blueprint. And I am very, very grateful and appreciative to be here to celebrate all our young students who have been nominated for this excellent award. So for those of you that are just joining us, we're here to celebrate BBEA24-Day. This has been set aside as an all-day celebration of the 64 statewide students that were nominated for the 2024 Bridge Builder Excellence Award. And so, first of all, thank you all. We're here to honor and celebrate each of you 64 students, and we appreciate you. And for those of you that are new to this, the award criteria, there's three main pillars in this. There's football excellence, which is measured at 40%, academics with a minimum 3.2 core GPA, which is measured at 30%, and then exemplary school character, community citizenship, evidence through nonprofit service and leadership, which is scored at 30%. So one thing that we do when I ask everybody watching this, if you're watching it live, watching it in the replay, our nominees were awarded certificates. They're posting them on social media. That we want you to keep a lookout on them. We're going to celebrate some of them here in a little bit as well in the presentation, but we'd love for you to encourage them to share those posts, to like those posts, to comment on those posts, and show them how proud we are of their excellence and how they're representing themselves and our state in this venture. So before I introduce some folks, we got some really special guests here in the house. We've also got some great video recording messages that were sent in for the honorees and for us to all enjoy. So we're just going to get kicked off and get started with this. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce four folks who are going to join us right off the bat. So first of all, let me just pull up my notes here. First of all, we got Chris Neeley. I'm in a spotlight here. Chris, there you are. Hold on, let me pull you up. I'm going to pull you up in the spotlight as we go through this. So we've got Chris Neeley here. Chris is the Chief Deputy Superintendent superintendent of the South Carolina Public Charter School District. He's a 22-year Army Navy veteran. And if my memory serves me correct, you also have degrees from both the University of South Carolina and Clemson University. If I'm wrong, you can correct me, Chris, but welcome.
That's correct. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you being here. All right, so I'm going to move on to our next one, and we'll get back to Chris in a second. So next, we've got someone that you've already met who led us in the prayer. Thank you for that. We've got Dexter Davis, who I'm going to bring in here on the spotlight so you guys can all see his smiling face and his amazing suit that he has graced us with today. So there he is. Dexter, thanks for being here. Dexter is the president of the NFL Alumni Association of South Carolina. He was named to the Clemson all-time football team. He's a freshman All-American at Clemson, and he was the first junior to be drafted in the NFL out of the state of South Carolina. So, Dexter, welcome, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And next, I'm going to have to, there he is. There's Rick. Rick, I'm going to bring Rick up on the stage here with us as well. We got Rick Sanford. Rick, thank you for being here with us. South Carolina Football Hall of Fame class of 2021. He played his football collegiately at the University of South Carolina, where he was a first-team All-American, and he was the first-round draft pick in Gamecock history in the 1979 draft. Sorry, didn't mean to age you there, Rick, but where he was drafted by the New England Patriots. And he was an NFL All-Pro, and he also played a season with the Seattle Seahawks. So, Rick, thank you for being a part of this celebration with us today.
It is my pleasure. I really appreciate the invite, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to bring up one more person here. We got Mr. David Wyatt in his wonderful studio. Another one wearing his nice suit today too, as well. David looks spiffy. So David, thank you for being here. Let me just go back. We got David. David's an attorney with 39 years practicing in the areas of business, litigation, entertainment, and sports. He's an adjunct professor for over 15 years of sports and entertainment law at the University of South Carolina School of Law. He's a community leader. He's the chairman and president of the South Carolina Football Hall of Fame. And he's a husband. His wife, Ann, who I believe is in attendance, and has two daughters, Gibson and Virginia. So, David, thank you, of course, for helping organize this and, instigating this gathering and this celebration that we're a part of today.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you, Evans, and appreciate Superintendent Neeley and Dexter Davis and Rick Sanford for being here, and all of you here with us. It's a special day here in South Carolina. We are recognizing, celebrating, and encouraging excellence. South Carolina is one of the places that I think we all here on this Zoom call, and whether you're here with us or watching it later, you can agree that South Carolina is a great place. And, one of the problems that we have here in South Carolina is that some of our kids are not like those that we're honoring today. Some of them are not getting prepared. And in fact, LaVon Kirkland brought to our attention some time ago the fact that we were 43rd in the country in college and career readiness. LaVon said, "Wyatt, I'm LaVon Kirkland. I've never been satisfied being in the bottom 10 of anything in my life. We should be top 10 in the country in college and career readiness." He said, "Our kids are getting left behind. It's dragging down our communities, and we need to do something about it." And I'm like, "LaVon, how are we going to do that?" He said, without missing a beat, he said, "We're going to educate, encourage, and empower excellence, first within ourselves and then with everybody else." And so, Mikey Football with the Football Hall of Fame, Mike Foster, he, and of course, Ann and all of you, many of you, Evans Putman, one of the guys that has inspired what has become this Bridge Builder Excellence community. Dexter Davis, he came to my office years ago and gave me his input and insights. And of course, Rick Sanford has been a huge champion of the cause. And I want to thank all of you guys for coming in. And if I can switch it without, losing everybody, I am going to run through quickly, for one, this pledge that we have come up with. It's the Bridge Builder Excellence Community Pledge. And, this pledge, we've had hundreds of you sign this pledge since we launched this program. The Bridge Builder Excellence Community Pledge, you helped develop this pledge and you have signed this pledge. And this is, we're all bridge builders. We're trying to make a difference here. We recognize that we have a gift, you have a gift, and it's up to us to discover what is that gift and to step into it, to do our best to educate, encourage, and empower ourselves and others to excellence. We want to maintain a positive attitude, respecting ourselves and everybody that we encounter in the community. At a time when everybody else is trying to tell us why we should be tearing each other apart or mad at each other, this Bridge Builder Excellence community is coming together with love and respect. And we are, it's up to us to lead together. We want to lead together for socially and economically strong South Carolina communities. We talk about taking a stand. It's mentors versus tormentors. You might say, what is the tormentor? Good question. The tormentor is an abuser, somebody that's a hater. It's negativity. It could be poverty. And if we're honest with ourselves, sometimes we are our own worst enemies. We have negative self-talk within us, and we become a tormentor. And so we are taking a stand here as bridge builders to stand against the tormentors. And together, I believe that we can lead South Carolina students to be in the top 10 in the country in college and career readiness by December 31st, 2030. And basically, we are committing to being a part of this Bridge Builder Excellence community. And so, again, want to thank everybody for being here today and would ask that you consider giving to the cause to support the Bridge Builder Excellence Award program. This program is a year-round program, and it's very easy to get in. You can go to scfootballhof.org, hit that give button, and just give whatever amount you can give. And I'll tell you that we do have a special opportunity for those that are here today, or if you're watching this later, before 31st, if you give at least $10 to this program, everybody's going to get the lost episodes, the Inside Blitz with LaVon Kirkland. These are some great interviews that we have just recently found in the vault, and we are putting these together, and we will be getting these out to everybody in June. And they're going to be interviews with Steve Spurrier, Willie Jeffries, Art Shell, of course, the great late Willie Scott. This is one of the last interviews that he ever did. We love Willie Scott, Coach Scott, and we're honored to put this out in his honor. And so for everyone that gives at least $10, you will get these episodes. You will also be entered to join. Second prize is $50 off. Actually, it's two $50 certificates to Topgolf across the state or Charlotte. And the grand prize is one-of-a-kind autographed helmet, South Carolina Football Hall of Fame helmet, extremely valuable signatures, and some great folks, great South Carolina representatives here. And again, we're here today because of these 64 young men across South Carolina, these young leaders. We want to recognize you because as much as we hate that South Carolina is in the bottom 10 in the country in college and career readiness, a lot of that has to do with like math and reading. I think we read on about 50% of us read on grade level in South Carolina, and about 40% are on math level. And we want to improve that. And one of the ways, we do that, according to John Maxwell, great leadership man himself, he says, if you want to see more of something in the world, you should honor it. And so that's what we're doing. These young men right here, these 64 young men whose names are on the screen, they have all found it. They have figured it out, and they are living their lives with excellence. And we want to applaud them. We want to honor them. We want to give them a lot of attention. As Evan said earlier, they are posting their pictures and certificates of excellence today for Bridge Builder Excellence Award Day with the hashtag BBEA24Day. So go look for them and like and share, even if it's after Bridge Builder Excellence Award Day that you're watching this. Go ahead and go on social media, whether it's A lot of these guys are out here on X, formerly known as Twitter. Some are on Instagram, some are on Facebook, but go out here and recognize this excellence. And these guys, every one of you should be proud of yourselves as well as your families. None of us get to where we are by ourselves. We all have people that support us. And so to you supporting these young men, we thank you as well and congratulate you. And what an incredible job. I'm going to give you a round of applause right now. And I look forward to the future to come. This is a family. You guys are incredible.
Hello,
and I've
this
got
is Governor
a message
Henry
from the
McMaster,
governor.
and I'm happy to join you in celebrating each of this year's Bridge Builder Excellence Award nominees and the people who got them here. This prestigious award recognizes the height of excellence and accomplishments in two demanding and critical arenas, athletics and academics. The qualities displayed by these young men demonstrate their commitment to discipline, teamwork, accountability, intellectual rigor, and vision. I don't think I've ever seen a group of more outstanding young men. I know their parents, families, and teachers are proud of them, and so am I. Congratulations.
Thank you, Governor McMaster. We really appreciate your support. And we next have the Superintendent of Education, Ellen Weaver. Now, she gave this message for us for our enshrinement and asked for us to play it as well here for you. And so without further ado, I give you Superintendent Ellen Weaver.
Hello, this is State Superintendent of Education, Ellen Weaver. I'm so sorry I can't be there for your incredible induction ceremony tonight and to honor the Bridge Builder Excellence finalists, but I want you to know from the bottom of my heart how thankful I am for the mission, the vision, the passion, the purpose behind the South Carolina Football Hall of Fame, especially as it relates to the work that you do to encourage and inspire our student athletes across South Carolina to be everything that they can possibly be, both on the field and off the field. I'll never forget when our friends David Wyatt and LaVon Kirkland came down to Columbia. They took some time to talk to the Education Oversight Committee about the vision they have to ensure that every single student in South Carolina is ready for college, career, and life when they graduate from a South Carolina high school. Your partnership in this mission is invaluable. We are so thankful for you, for the heart that you bring to this work, and I wish you all the best as you enjoy this incredible event this evening. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you, Superintendent Ellen Weaver and Governor McMaster. What an incredible group we have here, a celebration we have going on. And you talk about education, you talk about strategic planning. And Evans, what do you say that we go ahead and throw it to Rick Sanford, talking about strategic planning and talking about maximizing your opportunity for life, really to set yourselves up, so these young men here on this call can understand how to set themselves up to where they can maximize their brand value, their ability to make money and name, image, and likeness, and making that transition to set them up, not just for success in the short term, but in the long term in life. So let's go to Rick Sanford. I've got to step out, but let's go to Rick Sanford and have him talk about, his perspective on this. What is the point, Rick?
Point is, it's not going to, you are not going to be able to advance your life just only through football. Very few of you will. But what you can advance your life through is through education. And I was very fortunate. And when I got out of school, I ended up going back and became a doctor and did that for 27 years. Well, I didn't get that because, of anything to do with football. I got that because of my education. And so that I stress to each and every one of the young people out there. Get your education.
Go ahead, Dexter.
I will say this, that in order to obtain that level, we hope and pray that each and every one of you get that opportunity to go chase your dream as a football player. And there's another level to this thing is getting your 4th year of accreditation, right? In order to become a pension-drawing, retired NFL player, that's going to be 4 years. I spent some time with a Hall of Famer a couple of weeks ago in Texas John Randall, who now works with the Minnesota Vikings, and he's saying he's still having to educate our young athletes that there's levels to this thing. Of course, a lot of our young folks hear that phrase quite often, but in order to get your pension and be considered a retired NFL player, you got to get to 4 seasons, and that's why the average career is around 2. So there's commitment, there's some strategies, but there's some realities as well. Thank you, Evan.
I love that.
Evans, why don't you go ahead and ask us the second question?
Yeah, that's what I was going to jump in. Thanks for that, Chris. So I was going to ask the three of you before we jump into this next one, what advice do you have for athletes about building and protecting their personal brand? And I know you guys are going to cover that and dive into it.
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Evans. I mean, first of all, be authentic. Be who you are. Don't forget where you came from. I remember when my dad dropped me off at Carollina, 35, almost 40 years ago. And he said, son, don't ever embarrass the family name. And that was the last thing he said to me before he dropped me off. That's so important. Be who you are. You've had mentors in athletics, coaches. You've had leaders in scouting. You've had teachers. You've had church leaders and pastors who have mentored you and have brought you along to this point in your life. And it's evident that you've got a personal brand because it's represented by the whole person that you are in terms of the athlete, the academic part, and then of course the character and community. But be true to yourself. Never forget where you came from. That's one of the things that has stuck with me for the rest of my life. Reputation management. You're going to be tempted by a lot of things. College is going to provide all kinds of temptations. Just don't forget why you're there. Be true to your teammates and your coaches. Do the right thing. Monitor and manage your online presence. Be careful what you put out there on social media. And I know you get preached about that all the time. You're the technology generation. You've always been around technology. But don't forget, there's also a face and a heart behind every person as well. Be true to people. Be relational with people. Network and build those meaningful relationships. And then be consistent. Align your actions with your values and your message. Rick, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, I totally agree with what you're saying here. I think this is excellent information that you're giving out because absolutely, you've got to absolutely be yourself. And that sometimes may be hard. I mean, it must be very hard nowadays with all this internet out there and so many other things out there and so many temptations that young athletes have. But one thing you have to remember is that you have got to, if you want to advance your life, you have got to be true to yourself. And what I mean by that is that I'm not asking you to, just put yourself first or anything like that. If you really want a lot of recognition, how to be true to yourself is be true to your teammates. Because I got more recognition by being a good teammate than I ever got on my own. And I think I see a lot of the young athletes out there nowadays, Dexter, I see where they it seems like it's kind of a me instead of a we. And so I always stress team performance will get you a lot farther. Depend on that other guy on the other side of the line from you. Depend on the offense, depend on the defense, depend on that player, because I can tell you right now that you'll get more awards than you ever thought you were going to get if you're a good player, if you're a great teammate.
That's right, Rick. And to your point, there's no I in team. We hear that often stated and thrown around, but that is a fact of the matter. And one of the areas that we're doing with the NFL alumni in South Carolina, we're helping you with your name, image, and likeness. In a couple of weeks, we'll be working with one in particular, young man out of South Carolina, O'Donnell Fortune, helping him with his camps. And so if you need us, we are a 501c3 to help you with your brand, that we are a trusted source. We the oldest professional sports association, alumni association in the country. So we have a proven track record to help you if you want to work on your camps or just do a overnight camp somewhere, or you want to do a mission trip somewhere. So we're able to help you with your brand and gaining trust, because whoever you're connected to, that's going to be your feature, right? If we want to figure out, okay, what's the feature of most of you on here, we can find out right now who you plugged into. And if you're not plugged into anybody that's worth being plugged into, as your parents probably would tell you, then you don't really have a good future. So make sure that you're following Rick's advice, to have the right friends, right teammates in life.
Wow, that's great. Great advice. And you guys have tremendous opportunity with this support group that you have here as well and throughout the state. So another question for you three: how can the young athletes that are here today, that are watching the recording, how can they use their time in college to build their knowledge and leadership skills?
Well, first of all, as an educator and you know, I want to just first congratulate you on getting your high school diploma. Like that's a big step. You know, we take that for granted sometimes, but you started high school during COVID. So you have persevered. There's been a lot of angst and blood, sweat, and tears and virtual learning back in your freshman year, but you persevered and you made it through. And you're all walking across stages during this next 2 weeks. So acquire knowledge, education, focus on your studies, and seek academic excellence. Learning will continue for the rest of your life. You know, we think about high school and we think about, God, I hate those tests and those papers and having to read those books and do all that work. And now I got to do that again in college, and I got to balance football and all the practice and learning all the plays and everything that's required and all the demands that's going to be placed on me. But learn in the classroom and learn in the players' room and in the locker room. You're going to gain knowledge. You're going to build relationships that you're going to use for the rest of your life. You're going to be a lifelong learner, but you need to be positive about that. Leadership roles. You know, I know your time is going to be really tied up with football, but when you get a chance, and Dexter and Rick can tell you, there's still opportunities to volunteer in the community and give back to local charities, to be a team captain. Look for leadership positions on the team. Seek out those opportunities. You know, when you become an upperclassman, mentor those younger players when they show up as freshmen and they're trying to figure it all out. All these things we're telling you today about a strategic plan and your own personal brand, be the one that teaches them the importance of those things. That's the legacy you can pass on through your teammates and through your college. It's going to then make you a better leader when you leave college. Risk-taking. Be okay with stepping out of your comfort zone. You know, these players that we've got with us today, Rick and Dexter, they both had to step out of their comfort zones. They thought maybe I was too small. Maybe I'm not fast enough. Maybe coaches don't believe in me. You prove people wrong. You go out there, you step out of your comfort zone, and you take risk. And mentorship. This is so important. Learn from your coaches. Learn from your professors. Your professors are a wealth of knowledge. You never know what career field you might take by developing a personal relationship with one of your professors. It could take you places you've never seen. And of course, your peers, your teammates, your classmates. Don't forget about your classmates. They're the ones cheering for you every Saturday, regardless if you win or lose. Get to know them. Get to be a part of the school community. Dexter?
Yes, you're looking at a marching band member. One of the things that I would advise each and every one of you to do is when you hear a person come up to you that's older and mature, and they have spent some time around you and they're giving you some advice on maybe a career path, please listen and consider what they're telling you. I was in PE one day and I played in the 9th grade basketball team, and I played for the team, the football team, on Friday nights. Entering my 10th grade year, the PE teacher said, "Hey, son, why don't you ask your mama to let you come up for the team next year?" And I had to receive that and act on that. So what am I saying to you? There are going to be people who are going to come around you. It might be a coach, it might be an uncle, it might be a granddad, it might be your friend's dad. But that person that has been watching you and talking to you and getting to know you, they're going to speak something into your life. And I pray and hope that you allow and you receive what they have to tell you, because it can be a career changing in a positive way for you.
That's great advice, Dexter. And let me add to that. I will tell you a little motto that I've always gone by my whole life. And it is a little statement that each player, you can maybe carry this with you. If it is to be, it's up to me. And that is true. I mean, you've got to be the one to sell out. If you want to get something in life, if you want to excel in life, you've got to, put the effort into it. And the effort goes a long way. The effort goes way longer than any kind of talent that you have, because I will tell you, I know that one of the biggest honors I ever got when I was in New England with the Patriots was I was recognized by the fans as an unsung hero award winner one year. And the unsung hero award wasn't necessarily the best player on the team. It was the guy they knew that was going to show up every week and didn't get the accolades that some of the other guys might have gotten.
Well, that's the
But
problem
he was there every week, and he was making plays and doing things to win football games for the team. TEAM, team, because team will get you more honors, as I said earlier, than any individual thing that you can do. But I will stress to you, do that in your life. Just if it's going to be up to you. And so I stress to you, it's as 100% as I can. It is very, very important. Education comes before football. And because you will find that out, the majority of you may not make it all the way to football, but you can always make it in life as long as you've got a great education.
Wow, that's great. Great advice from all three of you. Chris, Rick, Dexter, thank you so much. If it's going to be, it's up to me. I may have gotten that a little off, but I love that. I'm putting that in my mantra now. So this next question I absolutely love, but I'd like to ask each of you, why is it important for the athletes here viewing this live and on the recording? Why is it important for them to give back and volunteer to their communities as well?
Well, first of all, I'll just say that these young men have already proven that they believe in community. They believe in being good citizens and giving back to society. They've already proven that through this program. So they've got the foundation, but it doesn't stop today. It just begins today, where you've got new opportunities to be more involved. You've got an opportunity with your brand and with your team to really make a mark in the community and give back. There's a lot of kids, as you know, that look up to you. And I know, and I've got Rick Sanford's signature autograph and a little book that I've got in my parents' attic right now from when I was 11 years old in 1979. I say that because when I was a young man, I looked up to these players, and I still treasure those things. And the fact that I'm here today with him, participating to give you all words of wisdom and advice for your life says so much about where he is and wanting to give back in community service. But that didn't just start today for him or Dexter. They've lived a life because they learned that as young men in college and playing football and in the NFL. And it exposed them to all kinds of opportunities to give back. Visit Children's Hospital and see the children that are sick, that look up to football players, that want to dream to be like you, to walk out on a field and be able to score touchdowns and have the fans cheer for them. But find the cause that you care about. Find the things that are aligned with your values. Maybe there's a parent or a sibling of yours that's got a disability, or they've got cancer. Find those things that you really care about. And when you're passionate about something, you're going to give it 110%. And then make impact. Understand the benefits of giving back. I grew up in scouting as a young man, and our scout slogan was "Do a good turn daily." And it wasn't to do it for our own good, it was to help other people at all times. Because we truly believe that that's the way we give back, is by understanding how, we make that return on investment for society when we all contribute individually. Networking, build those connections through this service. You're going to be amazed at the people you're going to meet, the opportunities you're going to have, which could lead, by the way, to an interest in a career after you graduate from college. Again, be thinking about your future after football. Enjoy these days. They're the best of days. And they're going to be the best memories you ever have. But it won't always be just the best then, because you've got so much ahead of you. Relationships and networking through your contributions and through your volunteerism can make a big difference. And then legacy, not doing it because we want people to think of us like we're superhuman or super citizens. Do it because it's just the positive, most lasting impact you can have on society. At the end of the day, nobody's really going to remember the jersey we wore, touchdowns we scored, or the tackles we made. It's going to be the character that you have. It's going to be the way that you gave back and the way that you treated people. Rick?
Oh, I totally agree with what you're saying. I think that's wonderful, what you've put into words there. I will say this, that if you don't, if you don't give back to your community, you're really only hurting yourself, quite honestly, because and one of the other things I want to stress about that, about giving back, is that I've always been a guy that, I've always felt like that whatever I give to somebody else, it'll always come back to me tenfold. And I believe that. I've always spent time trying to help other people in a variety of ways. And it's just always worked out that way. And I don't know why that is, but, it's just a God-given thing. I think God rewards those that do go out there and do service for others. And I've always seen it happen for me, that when I give somebody, let's say I gave somebody $100 for something that was a good cause, or I thought it would be something that was going to be helpful to them, somehow another $1,000 would show back up for me. So it's just strange how that works. I know that doesn't probably put it exactly the way I'm trying to say it, but what I am trying to say is that be good to others, be kind to others, because I will tell you that will go a ton of a way for you in the future. Dexter?
Yes, you make me think about the old statement, give and it shall come back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and runneth over. That's what my pastor would say, Rick. But nonetheless, in August 14, 1994, I found out that playing the game, and I was a member of the Los Angeles Rams, we had a team chaplain, and he changed my life to make me understand that my life was more than just playing a game of football. And so I was able to take that opportunity and that experience there and that transformative year for me to live out a life, be bigger than myself, right? In Ephesians 3:20-21, said, now to him who can do all things above him, we can expect, think, or imagine. And that's the life that I've been fortunate enough to be able to live in, only because I made that commitment. And I hope and pray that each and every one of you would at some point get that opportunity to experience that. But for me, coming back to South Carolina was very important, and for my wife and myself. But the most important person in that was a gentleman by the name of Greg Thompson, who's one of our most successful men in our state. And he said, Dex, I want to do something bigger than myself. So here's a billionaire saying he wants to do something bigger than himself. I really didn't have a whole lot to offer other than my life. And the fact that I lived a life in such a way that he had been watching me. He said, Dex, you come, I'm going to be the chairman and you be the vice chairman, and we're going to create a school. And our school has become a trailblazer of a public charter school, Liberty STEAM charter school in South Carolina, to the point now where I get a chance to serve with Mr. Superintendent Neeley through education. Why do I say that? It's only because I just tried to live a life bigger than myself, realizing that it's not just about football, it's about how you're impacting others. And so I'm grateful to be in a position to be able to help impact the players on this call.
Wow. Thank you all for sharing that. That's so great. Leading from a place of service is so important. So I'd like for everybody on, we got so many of the athletes on here. I'd like for you to just go to a place of imagination for a moment and think this, picture yourself in this moment, right? Where when the final scoreboard is turned off, and just go to a place of imagination for a moment and think this, picture yourself in this moment, right? Where when the final scoreboard is turned off and all the players and fans have left the stadium after the end of your last game, what are you going to do when the cheering stops for you in that moment? And I'm sure we have some great insight from the three of you that you could share, but I'd love for you to paint that picture on what that future could look like.
Yeah, I'll kick us off, but I want Rick and Dexter to really think back in that last football game you ever played in, walking off that field for the last time, and there's so much emotion built up inside of you, and there's so much wonder in your mind as to what's next. But I want the players on this video to think about it this way. You've got an opportunity to transition yourself from a player to an illuminating fan of others. What do I mean by that? the lights have been on you for a large part of your life. You've been out on the field, you've been a star athlete, and you've proven yourself on the football field, the gridiron. And now you've got a chance to play at a whole nother level where more fans are going to see you on TV. And some of you are going to have an opportunity for the NFL. And so those fans have been in those stands and they've been watching you and they've been cheering for you and your parents and your grandparents and your friends. They've all been about you and your number. And they've kept their eye on you and they've been pulling for you. But one day when you do walk off that field for the last time, you've got a unique opportunity to turn the light around and shine it on all those fans and all those people that supported you. You've got a chance to be an illuminating fan of other people. So all this that we've talked about today about giving back in community, being a volunteer and being a mentor and a leader, and, you know, you're going to have chances to start your own businesses. You're going to have an opportunity to work in some of these high-tech, you know, jobs of the future here in South Carolina and around the world. But never forget, as we said earlier, that behind every person is a heart. And they're looking for people like you to illuminate them, to better see them as people. You've got a unique opportunity to turn those stadium lights around and shine it on all those others that have been shining the light on you for all these years while you've been playing football. Rick and Dexter, I want you just to share how important that is, but start off by sharing a personal experience of walking off that field for the very last time.
Well, I'm not going to lie about it. I mean, I cried. Quite honestly, I knew it was my last year. It was my 7th year in the NFL. And I was really ready to get out at that point. And I was, because I was ready to enter the normal world is what I called it. I don't know how normal it turned out to be, but I just felt like at that point in my life, I was ready to go ahead and continue my schooling. And, you know, after I retired, I knew that I had to do something, and I had made plans. I was smart. I had made plans. I was going to go back to school and get my doctorate degree and go ahead and become a doctor and do what I needed to do. I think that's the most important thing I think you need to realize as a player. It does come to an end. It really does. I know that's hard to believe as a high school athlete. Because all I can remember is great things then and great things in college and 7 more extra years out of professional football and how great it was. But there will be a transition time in your life. And I think that's excellent advice from you, Superintendent, that you have to be prepared. You've got to be ready to go out and do something different than the game of football. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. The game of football will allow you to become a great business person if you can apply the techniques that you learn through football and apply that into your next business, because work ethic, there's no substitute for work ethic in this world. You might not be the smartest guy in the world, but I've seen so many guys who aren't as smart as the biophysicist over there, but they're smart, they're people smart. And there's a lot of people smart people out there. And they know how to relate to people. People skills is the most important thing that you need to learn as to how to treat people kind and with respect. Because I will tell you, you will get more out of life doing that than you ever will with anything you will learn in a book. Dexter?
Rick, you're spot on with that. As you're talking, I'm just reflecting on my own journey and the word I kept hearing from people, because I didn't have maybe the education in some of the spaces where we've done business-wise, but I've always been able to garner the word trust. And, and young men, if people can trust you, they will allow your work ethic to get to what you might need, right? So use your platform as a player to do what you say what you do. And I tell my son, who's still a college player, and he does have a chance to play the next level. We'll see if that's the plan. But to do your best, give God the glory, and then you can live with the results. If you can walk head held high in your daily walk off that field, then you truly can say you look in the mirror and say you've done your best. My career ended abruptly, so to speak. I got credited for 6 seasons, but I got injured. And when I got injured, I was told by 3 doctors, right, your career is over. had an L5S1 injury and some other things that took place. So it was cut short. So this, this career that I thought was going to, last forever, right? And we know it's not the case, but it was cut short due to injuries. And so players, somebody on this virtual space will get an injury. I'll show you that. If not, you get ready for spring ball. But you're going to get injured. I hope and pray that your injury doesn't end your career as mine did. But I pray that you're ready to continue to live out a way in such a way that others will see you and let your actions speak louder than words. And then say, we trust you enough to go beyond your own expectations to the person in the mirror.
I love it. Great stuff. So for each of the athletes watching this, you're already moving in the right direction. You're doing the right things. You're being honored for doing those right things today. And, like David shared earlier, you're now part of a family. So you've got this support system and this guidance system and mentorship system that's here to help you as you move forward. So thank you all for sharing your wisdom with us during that session. I appreciate it. And I know we've got David back again, and we're going to take that detour back into the presentation because I know we've still got, I believe, a couple of messages from some folks that wanted to share some things. So David, I'm going to bring you back in and then let you start sharing that with us again. So,
well, thanks again, Evans. It's important that you have a great team, and I've got a great team as evidenced here, and appreciate Superintendent Neeley and Rick and Dexter. What great information. I'm over here taking notes too. I think, it's important here to understand that there are some really big leaders here in the state of South Carolina that care about these 64 young men. And one of those is All-Pro Football Hall of Famer, South Carolina Football Hall of Famer, and just overall legend, Brian Dawkins. And so we're going to have a message from Brian Dawkins. And then after Brian Dawkins, we're going to have the legendary Stump Mitchell. Stump Mitchell was a Citadel running back, incredible, just went and beyond what a lot of people predicted he could do. He chased his dream. He had a vision and a goal and was incredible. Talking about that story a little bit at our enshrinement this year and encouraging others, educating me and all of us to excellence. And so Stump Mitchell coached in the NFL for a long time, really cares about these young men. And so I want to pay close attention to these messages for you guys. Brian Dawkins up first and then Stump Mitchell. So great members of our South Carolina Football Hall of Fame. And again, thank you guys for those words of wisdom. And without further ado, let's go back to the program.
Hello, blessed people. This is Brian Dawkins, and I wanted to take this second to congratulate each and every one of you for being a part of and excelling in the Bridge Builders Excellence Award. I love the title of excellence. It's one of the things that I've been blessed to recognize in my life, that I want to do everything with excellence in mind. So that means I had to define what excellence looks like when it comes to the way that I worked, when it comes to the way that I treat other people, do unto others as I would want to be done unto me. So I've had to define excellence in my life, even in my playing days, of how I prepared my body, how I treated my body. So all of these things has excellence in mind. So congratulations to each and every one of you for deciding not only to start this, but to finish it and to continue to grow in your journey to be excellent in life. Because your excellence will add so much value to this world we live in. You will be such a blessing to so many people if you continue down the path of humility and excellence seeking and doing things, like I said, with excellence in mind. When you live life in this way, you will be a blessing to many, many along the way, just like you have been to yourselves today. All right. So be blessed. And once again, I encourage you, no matter what life throws at you, no matter what life throws at you, you have what it takes inside of you through prayer and through the help of other people to come through any and all things so that you can continue to do what? Be excellent. All right. God bless.
All right. We got Stump Mitchell up next. Got a message for you guys.
Hello, my name is Lavanya Stump Mitchell. I'm a graduate of the Citadel and also a 2023 inductee into the South Carolina Class Hall of Fame. I would like to congratulate you on a successful high school career. And I would like to encourage you to continue the hard work that will not be easy, but I would also like for you to know that you have the Bridge Builders Excellence Program, which strives to educate and encourage, as well as empower excellence in ourselves, and it also within you to lead South Carolina to the top nationally in college and career readiness by December 31st, 2030. We're here for you and we support you. Best of luck.
Right, so again, want to congratulate you guys, and you're the future leaders here in South Carolina, and we appreciate all that you've done. I wanted to just share a little bit about this Bridge Builder Excellence Award. So this year, our top 10 average GPA was a 4.4, 64 nominations from 45 high schools. We had participation of new schools from 2023. We had 15 new schools this year, which is incredible. This thing is growing. This year's nominees included the #1 recruit in South Carolina, the Gatorade Player of the Year, and the 3 Mr. Football finalists. Since 2019, we have had nominees from 128 South Carolina high schools. Total nominations are 306. There's 57 colleges that are represented nationally with Bridge Builder Excellence Award nominees on their team. South Carolina football programs this year with nominees, there's 15 of them. And the last 3 winners have spoken at the College and Career Decision Day at the Capitol. And we're partnered with the State Department of College and Career Readiness and College and Career Decision Day, the State of Education. And of course, we want to thank the governor again for his support. As Evans mentioned earlier, the 3 categories here, you have to have at least a 3.2 core GPA. So if you're a student, you're watching this, make sure that you have a core GPA. We're not talking about that shop class, guys. We're talking about your core classes. And then, you need to have good character. How do you have good character? Well, you show it because you're giving back. You're giving back to a nonprofit. As these gentlemen pointed out earlier, Rick and Dexter and Chris did a great job talking about. That's really where you find satisfaction in yourself, is when you're helping others, taking your gifts and giving them to others. So I commend all of you for doing that. And then finally, it's the excellence on the field. And I'll tell you, this is the high school this is the Heisman Trophy of South Carolina high school football. So you've got to be a great player. You've got to be a great player to win this award, to get nominated. All 64 of these young men that we're honoring today and this year, they're great players. They got great grades. They're giving back. It's incredible. I want to commend you. The top 10, the top 3, and the winner. Of course, you're all winners. All of you guys are winners. I want to congratulate you and your families again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and for posting. If you haven't already posted your picture on social media, go ahead and do that with your certificate so we can recognize, celebrate, and encourage you. These are some of the nonprofits that we worked with this year. You guys have worked with toy drives, youth football camps, soup kitchens, the Palmetto Boys State, of course, Drew Spires did a great job raising awareness of Helensky's Hope and the mental health challenge that they are tackling, which is incredible. So again, want to just commend you for all of the great work that you're doing around South Carolina. And I want to go, I've had Mike Foster and Michelle Wolfert, Michelle is our executive director. They've been all day long helping spot you guys that are putting your pictures out here on social media. And I want to get everybody that's listening, y'all go out here to social media and find these guys and like them and share. Brock Franklin, here's Brock Franklin. He's on Twitter, proud to be nominated for the 2024 Bridge Builder Excellence Award, and he's thanking his coaches, and that's fantastic, his team. William Patton, Good job, William. Congratulations. Everybody find William. You can see he's at William_Patton on Twitter. Zion_Dobson. Zion, the Z-Man Dobson. Congratulations. Great job. You guys give him some love out there. Respect here to Cutter Woods at Woods Cutter. And we're grateful to have you in our community, Cutter Woods. Keep up the good work. Jacob Cotterill here. Jacob, great job. We appreciate you. He is at Cotterill. I guess that is _Jacob here on Twitter. Crew Morris. Thank you, Crew Morris. And we appreciate Lieutenant Colonel Michael Morris helping support you and your family, and congratulate you, and want everybody to go out there at Crew_Morris. Again, we are recognizing, celebrating, and encouraging another excellent young man here at Jacob_Coman on Twitter. Thank you, Jacob, and congratulations to you and your family. And
looks like we lost David again. We'll bring him back here in a minute. Let him back in. So before we move on to David, I put this in the chat, and I just wanted to thank all the attendees that are here, the panelists that are here as well. But if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask any of our panelists, if you'd like to ask Dexter, Chris, Rick, who I don't know if Rick is still here with us or not, but feel free. We'd love to have you participate. You can ask those questions. If not, we'll continue to move forward. But you can drop them in the chat. You can put them in the Q&A section. So I did want to say, I wanted to reiterate what David was sharing earlier, and just thank Michelle Wolfert and Mike Foster, who are with us today, and they're behind the scenes. They've been organizing this, putting together the slides, helping drive this thing forward. We would not be here today without them, 100%. For sure. So, and also to remind everybody who's here, between now and May 31st, you can continue to donate to the cause. We've got some amazing prizes. We've got a grand prize of an autographed South Carolina Football Hall of Fame helmet, which if David gets back in, it looks like he's back in, so I'll let him in here in a second to share. But he's got that grand prize helmet. We got a second prize, $100 or two $50 gift cards to Top Golf, and it's a $10 minimum to enter. But here's the really cool thing for everybody who does participate, first, you're giving to an amazing cause. You're helping support the youth of South Carolina in this cause as well. But everybody is going to be a winner. Everybody that donates, if you don't win one of the top two prizes, everyone that donates will get access to the Inside Blitz lost interviews that David mentioned earlier, and we'll be getting those out to you. So you have between now, May the 22nd, and May the 31st to get those donations in. So David, looks like you're back again. I'm going to bring you back in to join us. So hold on 1 minute. There you go. All right. Welcome back. Yep. I'm going to spotlight you, and you can continue to celebrate these young men.
That's right. So thank you, Evans. And again, it's great to have a great team, and I appreciate everybody. And Quentin, you must have been too much overloaded us, but congratulations to you there, young man, and your family. And Ethan Anderson, fellow jail man alum here. He's a great young man, and congratulating you. And please go out there. He is at, looks like Ethan.Anderson24. Maybe an Instagram post. Let's see. We've got John Maurer. John, thank you. Congratulations. That is at John Maurer 05. And looking good, John. Jordan Sink. Andy Sink. Good job here raising this young man. Great athlete, great member of our community. We appreciate you. At Jordan is up next. Y'all go out there and like his post and share that and give him some love. Thank you very much. And let's see, we've got Drake Braddock at Drake_Braddock. Drake, congratulations to you. Looking good there. Looks like a rock and roll under the bridge type of video. Very cool. So again, thank you all for supporting what we're doing. We couldn't do it without you. We, again, appreciate the NFL alumni here in South Carolina and all they do. Dexter, you guys are incredible. And, you know, these Inside Blitz are some pretty cool interviews. And we're just so excited to be partnering, to be doing this. This is, you know, something that's going to be a tradition here in South Carolina. And want to thank you guys. And Evans, you know, I know there's some questions, maybe some questions rolling in or some questions, a Q&A. So if you've got something, I got Dexter here, and I know we're going to have some of these young men have agreed to come on and be panelists with us. And so we'll have those guys go ahead and log on here and join us. But until they get in, why don't we field some Q&A from the audience? And I'm going to turn it over back to you.
Yeah, we actually do have a question. Anybody else, if you have any questions, please do drop them in the chat, anything at all, and we'll be glad to ask them. So we have a question from, looks like it's Lefford Fate. Hopefully I pronounced your name wrong. I apologize if I didn't.
You got it.
And it says, I love the fact that you're sharing essential soft skills. What are some of the soft skills that are most important for an aspiring college or pro footballer? Great question.
At me, Evans, or
yeah, let's go to you, Dexter.
I would say, yes, Chief. Thank you, Chief, for the. I call him Chief because he's got a tremendous career in the military service for our country. So I got a lot of respect for Chief Fate. Well, I would say motivation, self-motivation being one. You know, that's a soft skill, right? Just how do you get motivated to do, right, and be the best that you can be? I oftentimes hear that, you know, young people, well, they need somebody to get them going. Well, there's no more motivating for me than that person in the mirror. So helping our young people, especially understand how to be self-motivated, is a soft skill. Communication, right? How to communicate, because you may not have the degree or the, you know, on paper, you know, be able to be in that particular environment. But if you can communicate, they can work with the other stuff. They'll teach you that. So teaching our young folks to communicate, that is another soft skill. And so the art of adapting to their environment. That's one thing football teaches. How do you adapt? A soft skill is being able to adapt. We call it sudden change, Chief. So they're in the game where I'm sitting down about to drink my Gatorade. All of a sudden, oh, there's an interception. I got to get back out there. So, man, I wanted to relax and sit back and sit down and watch the offense. But we got to quickly make an adjustment. And that's how life is as well. How do you adapt? And our young folk today, and I would say some of our older folks as well, we have a hard time adapting. And we got to be able to adapt. And I'll end with this. Chick-fil-A operates on the serve model. That's seek the future, engage and develop others, reinvent continuously, value the relationships, and embody all of the things that you just said. So we can always teach our young people to be in the serve model, and that'll help us be as successful as Chick-fil-A.
I love that. David, do you have anything you want to add to Dexter's answer?
You know, those soft skills, showing up on time, being prepared, those types of things. You know, when you show up, you got to have your helmet, you got to have your chin strap, you got to have your equipment. And a lot of times, you know, I do a lot of business and legal work that you have folks complaining because people aren't showing up ready to roll. They're not showing up on time, or they're leaving stuff. And so I think the game of football really does teach you showing up, being on time, and the communication skills that you have to be able to work with a diverse crowd. So I would echo that. That was great serve. And yeah, great question. Thank you, Evans.
Yes. Yeah, it was a great question. Thank you, Lefford, for sharing that. And that's the only question we have right now. If anybody else if anything comes to mind, David, do you want me to ask you guys a couple of questions? You want to jump into start honoring some of these young men? Where would you like to go from here?
Well, I am trying to see who we have as panelists. And I know that the list that I have here of guys that are going to join us are Josiah Thompson. Is Josiah on here with us?
There.
Yeah, I do see Josiah. Josiah, if you want to, do we want you
So
want to spotlight Josiah and bring him on?
Yeah, let's bring him on.
All right. There we go. Welcome, Josiah.
Josiah, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm gonna. Why don't you just tell us a little bit, introduce yourself, and tell us where you went to high school, what position you play, and where you are now.
I'm from Dillon, South Carolina. I'm an early graduate. I'm going to the University of South Carolina right now. I play left tackle. Played left tackle for 4 years in high school, and I'm looking forward to play left tackle in college.
And again, congratulations! You win the overall Bridge Builder Excellence Award. One thing that I'd like for Evans and Dexter, of course, to throw whatever questions they may have at you, but I would say, Josiah, what would you say is the key to your success?
I say as a student athlete, I say time management is an important thing, especially managing your time on and off the field, especially in classes. I take my classroom serious, especially getting work done quick for the teachers, because I know that I have to be successful on the field and off the field. So.
And let me give you the opportunity, Josiah, if you'd like to ask Dexter a question, someone that's actually played in the NFL, even though he did go to Clemson, don't hold that against him. But if you have a question for Dexter, go ahead and throw it at him.
I'll say, what work did you put in to become successful to where you at?
Great question, Josiah. And I'd like to answer that question by, it was self-motivation for one, taking all the naysayers and turning them into a positive. That was one thing I was real good at doing, and surrounding myself with the leadership on the team, the older players. We had a team chaplain. I know Derek Moore. I know your guy there very well. And being able to be around the older guys, that was one of the best things for me. I ended at Clemson. I was the first true junior freshman to start at Clemson. And not so much because of my talent. I had the talent, but I allowed myself to be nurtured by the older guys. And I roomed with some of those older guys, and that made me the player as a freshman as I was. So I would say that's one of the most important ones, Josiah.
That's very good. Go ahead, Evans.
I was going to say, I got a quick question for Josiah. Just what are you looking most forward to in this next step on your journey?
I'll say developing, especially being in a new environment as well as college, coming from being a high school student athlete. I'm just looking forward to develop as a person, in the classrooms, personally, and on the field as a player.
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Josiah,
right, so
I've got
David,
one for you.
Go ahead, Dexter.
Yeah, my question for you, Josiah, would be, how are you adapting to this new day and age of the name, image, and likeness? What are you doing to make sure that your name, image, and likeness is attractive and that you are able to market and leverage it?
Yeah, it's something new to me. But like someone said, just be yourself. You have to change who you are to just impress, especially with name, image, and likeness. So.
Thank you. Well, look, we are here to help you with that too. So this is your team here. You tell my boy O'Donnell Fortune to tell you how he's using us down there.
Well, Josiah, again, we want to congratulate you. Appreciate you being with us. And if you have anything that you want to add or say, go ahead. And again, I know you're busy, got a lot going on. We, you're part of the family now, but I'm going to let you say whatever parting words, and then we'll let you get back to your daily life. And again, thank you and congratulations.
I don't have much to say, really. I just say just keep pushing yourself as a person, keep developing, and use the resources around you to help you develop and become successful. Because that's something I had to learn coming from a high school student and player, coming to college, because there's a lot of resources around you that will help you become successful as a person and on the field. So.
Great advice.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So I've got the schedule here of folks, and want to thank again you, Josiah Thompson, for being here with us and for your words of wisdom. Is Crew Morris is Crew on the panel here?
I'm looking. I'm not seeing Crew. Mike Foster, you could chime in if you see somebody I'm not seeing. Oh, there he is.
All right.
He says he's here. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me
Good.
find you, Crew.
Awesome. Next on deck is going to be Quentin Hood. On deck.
Right. Where is Crew?
Hey, I'm here.
Oh, there's Quentin. I'm still not seeing Crew in the list over here. So if you want to, David, you want to jump? Let's see. Yeah,
I'd say let's go to Quentin and then Crew. Maybe I can't see Crew on here, so I don't know if Crew should. If you haven't logged in as a panelist, do so, and we'll try to get you in. But let's go ahead and grab Quentin Hood.
All right, let me add.
We're coming back to you, Crew, so don't go anywhere except to check in and check back out. Check back in.
We got Quentin. Quentin, good to see you. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for inviting me. This is such a pleasure.
Yeah, so we're honored to have you here. So I would ask, let's just start right off the bat. Tell us just a little bit about yourself, what you got going on that you're excited about right now, and what's in your next steps.
Okay, well, I have graduation from Riverside High School in Greer, South Carolina tomorrow at 3. So I'm super excited about that. And I just have some family coming over from around, the East that's going to be seeing me this weekend as we celebrate. And then I'll be on Clemson's campus, as that's the university I'll be attending. This first week of July, I'll be on campus taking some summer classes for my engineering major that I'm doing. But I'm also doing a business, either double major or I might minor in business. And then I'll just be planning to walk on for football this fall for Clemson's football team. So I'm very excited about that.
Thank you. David, Dexter, do you guys have a question for Quentin?
I'd send it to the Clemson dog. Go ahead, Dex.
Yes, I want to say to you, my son, our oldest son, youngest son, had a chance to walk on there. He chose Air Force Academy at the time, and we're diehard Tigers. That's a role that I think Clemson does as good as anybody, and bringing in our walk-on players to be a part of that experience. So he just doesn't let anybody come on to the team and onto the field. So it says something about you, Quentin, that you've been asked to allow to come out for the football team at Clemson. So that's a great family, a great opportunity for you. I would ask you this question: what are you going to do to stay focused? Because there are going to be some times where you feel like, man, I don't know if I really want to do this. What's going to get you through that point? And everybody goes through that. But what's going to get you through that point where you say, man, I really don't want to do this anymore, I don't think?
Well, I would definitely say it's just going to be my faith in God, always just staying in touch, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Obviously, got to keep him first. And just knowing that I got to just battle through the hard times, because, being a student athlete in college is very tough and it's not easy. But I know that I definitely have some resources around me and just be able to find, a group of guys that I feel comfortable hanging around and just to be able to help me mentally and physically prepare for what I'm called for. So, yes, sir.
Love it. Make sure you have my contact information. See you up there.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, there you go, Quentin. So quickly, I want to congratulate you and your parents and what you've been able to accomplish and being a role model in your community is incredible. Now, let me throw this at you, Quentin. Let's say that I am a freshman at Riverside High School and I'm coming in and I'm asking you, Quentin, tell me the keys to success. What is the key to having a successful football career or a high school career here at Riverside High School? What would you tell them?
Well, just overall, I mean, obviously, like I would obviously tell them to keep God first, and then I would just say make sure you're following people who are gonna go somewhere that's where you want to go. You know, I mean, obviously, high school has a lot of, there's a lot of people there, and that not everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, or at least trying to achieve something that's worth going after. So I would just try to, find your group of people that are trying to achieve what you want, and if that aligns with the sport you're trying to achieve or your job, that's even better. But I would just find some kids that are really trying to work hard just like you, and also rely on your teachers as well. They're a resource that's there for you, and I would just try to have a good network of people that you can trust.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Do you have a question for Dexter? Since he's here, I'm gonna let you ask him, since he's been down the track and played at that college. What question would you have for Dex?
I would ask, just as a freshman coming in, what do you have advice for? Obviously, it'll be a culture shift going from high school football to the big time, playing at Clemson. Do you have any advice for just how to become more comfortable with the quicker pace of football, the faster life of college?
And thank you for the question, Quinn. I did have that moment of, hey, this really what I want to do. That's why I asked you that question, right? And that's a normal feeling to have. But what got me through it was, again, the players, the older players especially, say, hey, come on, let's see it through. Let's keep going. Let's persevere. We're running those gassers. So, and you said it, the people that you hang around are going to be the ones that help you get through those moments. So the Fellowship of the Misery, there's a great group of Fellowship of the Misery guys. They'll be over there and they'll be the ones pulling you down. But you want to be with the Fellowship of the Misery guys. You want to get with the guys that's seeing the big picture, right? You're on a 40-year plan, not a 3 or 4-year plan. And you surround yourself with those young men, and they'll help you see it through. Okay?
So thank you so much, Mr. Davis.
You're welcome.
So good. Thank you, Quentin. Appreciate you being here. We're here to honor you, but it's an honor for us to have you here with us also. So we appreciate that very much. We appreciate you, and good luck. Good luck up there in Tiger Town, a place that I have many fond memories of as well. So, David, so I do believe that I was able to get Crew in the panelists. So if we want to bring him up next, we can go that route.
Yeah, thank you again, Quentin. Appreciate you. Good luck to you. And if we can bring Crew Morris in, that would be fantastic. Thank you, Evans. Let's bring him in and have him tell us where he goes to school and what position he plays.
Hey guys, I'm Crew Morris. I go to Gilbert High School and I play wide receiver.
Awesome. Let me find you, Crew, and we'll bring you up here. So let me find you over in the panelists there. It looks like he disappeared in the panelist again. So go and keep talking.
I can see him. Keep talking, Crew.
I'm a junior at Gilbert, and I live for football. I love football and just helping my community, doing community service, anything. It's what I love to do. Homework, maybe not so much, but I know I have to get it done. So I try to do my best at it. But
yeah, Crew, while we're trying to find you in the mix there you are, looking good, my friend.
Thank you. I just got back from graduation.
Oh, congratulations! That's incredible.
Sure. Yeah, I was watching my buddies graduate because I'm a junior, so I have one more year.
Okay, you got another year. I was going to say, I thought you had another year. I know I talked to Lieutenant Colonel over the weekend, and he said you guys are staying busy. So,
yes, sir.
Again, congratulations on being nominated and what you're doing, the way you live your life. Fantastic. And, do you have a question for Dexter Davis? I know he's been through the recruiting process. You're going through it now. I don't think you've committed yet. What questions might you have for Dexter?
When did you notice your recruitment really started picking up opposed to like when it was at the lower?
Great question. I was one of those kids that went to camp in the 10th grade with a coach, and at that time, Danny Ford offered me a scholarship after our football camp. So going into my junior year, I knew I wanted to go to Clemson, and I was really intrigued by the campus. And so I was really growing up in the state of South Carolina in that day and age. Clemson had a little bit more of an influence on us. Though I committed to Alabama, and I won't tell you why. Not on this call. I won't tell you why I committed to Alabama, but it's another call, crew. But I made a decision when I got back after making that commitment there to stick with going to Clemson. But I knew it was just something inside of me that at that time, and it's so much a different day and age for you guys now. You got social media, and we had magazines in my day, Sports Illustrated, Sport News. Now you got it instantly, so it's a little bit more challenging for you. So, but I will say, ask God to give you clarity on that, and when it gives you the clarity, stick with your plan.
Yes, sir.
Right? He'll make it nice and clear for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I love that. I got a question for crew, David and Dexter.
Yes, sir.
So I'm curious, just piggybacking on what Dexter was talking about a little bit with all the distractions out there. We grew up in a different time. We didn't have to deal with that. But as someone who's focused and the goal that you're looking to achieve, how do you stay focused with so many different distractions in the social media and the in-person social stuff, everything that's going on around you as a high school student?
Well, I really try to limit my uses of social media besides like Twitter for the recruitment process, obviously. But I try to stay around like a close-knit type of people, like good people that I know are pointing me in the right direction and are positive influences in my life.
I love that. Appreciate it. Great answer. Thank you.
Yeah, crew, let me ask you real quick before we get you out of here. When you think about, again, what high school are you going to?
Gilbert High School.
Gilbert High School. So freshmen at Gilbert coming in asking you the keys to success. What advice do you give?
Well, if they're playing receiver, the big motto at Gilbert is if you can't block, you won't get the rock. So got to tell them blocking comes first, and then you got to learn your playbook, and you just got to be the best teammate you can be because you never know when you're going to get your chance.
If you can't block, you don't get the rock.
Yes, sir.
I love that. Anybody, you got anything else you want to say, crew, before we let you go? I think we got Jacob Cowan on deck here, but let me let you have the last word there, crew.
I'm good. Just thank you for the opportunity. I've enjoyed having it.
Well, just let us know how we can support you. You got fans here and you got support. We love you. We respect you. And crew, God bless you, man. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Bless you too.
Yeah. Best of luck in that senior year.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. So who was on deck, David?
I got Jacob Cowan. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I got Jacob Cowan, Drew Spires, Jackson Cole.
All right. I see Jacob. Let me pull you up. Where'd he go? There he is.
How we doing?
Let's see if I can spotlight you.
Awesome.
There we go. Good to see you, Jacob.
Welcome in, Jacob. Go ahead and tell us where you go to high school and what position you play.
Yes, sir. I go to James F. Burns High School. Like the others, I don't play that crucial role. I'm a kicker. I'll do a lot. I just kick the ball and then get off the field. So that's what I do. That's me. That's my role, and I love it.
Man, I tell you what, the kickers are the critical role in the game of football, and of course, I think there was a big saga at Clemson last year. They pulled somebody out of the off the shelf and brought him back. But Jacob, again, congratulations on your excellence and being in this Bridge Builder Excellence nominee. The family. What year are you?
I'm a senior, so class 2024.
So did you graduate?
Our graduation is tomorrow. I got to wake up quite early for the practice ceremony. I'm not ready for that, but it is what it is. Got to get over with.
Well, that's good. I'm going to let you ask Dexter a question, but before that, Dexter or Evans, do you have a question for Jacob?
I do. I love you are the kicker, right? I'm feeling you, man, Jacob. I was fortunate to play with probably one of the greatest kickers in college football history. When I look back on my career, I left early, right? First junior, but I also left with the first kicker who was a junior in the league, and that was Chris Gardocki. He was one of the greatest kickers of all time. He was a good friend of mine. And so all that. So my question to you is, how are you going to stay focused, right? You know, you say I'm just a kicker, but you've got a little swag about you. I feel that. How do you stay in the moment when it's your time to shine? How do you stay in the moment when it's your time to go do what you do?
It's simple. I faith over fear for me. I mean, it's if I have full on faith, 100% trust in the Lord, I mean, I'm good. And if it doesn't work out how the way it works out, then I don't have enough faith. That's pretty much how I work now. With if it's through sports, if it's through life, if it's through church. I mean, my family's heavily on faith. I mean, and that's the main thing I go into. If I don't have, I go 100% with faith. So that's me. When I go on the field, if I miss the kick, I don't blame the holder. I don't blame the snap. Just blame myself for not having enough faith. So that's me.
Love it. Thank you.
I love that. So quick question, and then we'll let Jacob ask Dexter a question. Who knows? He might want to ask you a question too, David. You just never know. But Jacob, so my question to you would be, how would you define excellence?
The only most excellent person I've known and been taught about was Jesus Christ. That's every day I try. I mean, there's no day close that I can live like him, but I try every day to my best ability to be close with him and grow my faith with him. And if I had to define excellence, I'll just say just one day at a time. You don't gotta look at the big picture. You just gotta look at the next step. For me right now, I'm looking forward to summer. A lot of people are looking towards football, towards college, but I'm just looking forward to spending time with my family. I haven't spent time with them since last summer with sports and with church and all that. But now summer's coming up, and I get to spend time with my mom, my dad, my brothers, my siblings, and we just get to have some family bonding time. And I'm extremely blessed that I still have done my life, and that's what if I had to find excellence, just one step at a time.
I love that. That's great advice. Great perspective. So do you have a question you'd like to ask Dexter? Well,
I'm a kicker, Dexter. I mean, I don't know what to ask you. I mean, you're probably more of a. If I had to ask one question, it would be, how was it going away from your family? I mean, I'm truly really rooted with my family, and when you went to the next step to the NFL, how was it leaving the ones that you loved?
It was a challenge, but I met my wife her first day on the campus, and that helped me in my adjustment, right? So that was the one thing that gave me a little balance. Meeting her first day on the yard, and then we ended up being married. Now we've been married 31 years, Jacob. So that helped me during that phase of leaving everybody, right? She was that one thing that made me, calm down when you leave away and you're trying to make the team. That's important to have some semblance, right? My faith wasn't where it is today then. So she was that. She was my faith. She was my praying woman. Her faith was there and mine was not. When I got that, what you're talking about, August 14, 1994. So you don't necessarily need that because you were grounded. I hear you, and I hear your heart. So that's a big part about that.
Awesome. Thank you.
We got a question just popped in from Mr. Mike Foster for Jacob. Mike was asking, Jacob, what are you doing in the fall?
Well, from January, I thought I was going to be playing football. Had a couple offers, and I've been praying about it a lot. And I'm a two-sport athlete. I also play soccer. So when the spring came up, my parents were telling me, what happens if you get an offer for soccer? And the only thing I would tell them was, man, I put it in the Lord's hand, and he'll tell me what I'm going to do. So an offer came out of nowhere for soccer, and it was just the offer I was looking for, close to home, close to my church. And I love the campus. I'm going to be attending NGU to play soccer for the next 4 years. And a lot of my friends and coaches been telling me, how about walking on to be a kicker? And all I'm telling them is, whatever the Lord wants me to do will guide me, and I'll be good.
Well, listen, can I add to that?
Sir.
I know Coach Jeff Farrington well, and there are many stories of kickers that have walked on to the football team. So let God orchestrate that for you, okay? There are many illustrations of that. So,
sir,
and you tell Coach Farrington, Dexter Davis said, that you come out and show what you can do.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you again for this nomination. I mean, it truly means a lot to my family, to myself including. I mean, to be just a kicker and then getting this nomination, I mean, I'm extremely blessed. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jacob. And listen, I appreciate that humility. And you ain't just a kicker, man. You belong. And so thanks for being a part of our family. Best to your dad and your family. And we hope to see you up there kicking some tail.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much. God bless y'all. And I'm praying for y'all. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. God bless you. All right. Next on deck, I think we have Drew Spires.
Yes, sir.
There he is. Drew, appreciate you being on and all of that you're doing. I've been watching you. You've been on TV. You're a TV star down there in the Midlands. And, so welcome in. Tell us, where are you going to school? Where did you graduate from? If you graduated, what position are you playing? What's next?
Yes, sir. Last Friday, I graduated from Richwood Academy. I'm blessed to say that I'll be continuing my football career at the Citadel this fall, playing wide receiver. My major is business development and marketing, so I'm just excited for the next steps.
Awesome. Evans, go ahead and bring him through the paces here. If you've got a question for him, go ahead and shoot it.
Yeah, I'm a little intrigued now. I'd like to hear a little bit more about this TV stardom, but I think from, if my memory serves correct, and Drew, I'll let you fill in the gaps, but David was sharing that you have been a big supporter in getting the word out for, I believe, one of the nonprofits, a local nonprofit. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I believe you're speaking of Helsinki's Hope. That's one of the organizations I've worked with, probably the organization I've worked with the most. I just really love their message, and I feel like it's one that I need to share and that more people need to hear about.
Thank you for that. Definitely. Thank you. So Dexter, why don't you go ahead and fire away, and then we'll let Drew circle back and ask you a question.
Well, Drew, going to the Citadel, that lets me know the type of young man that you are. One of my dearest, closest friends that's really helped my own transformation for me and my wife, my family, is Stump Mitchell. So my question to you is, why the Citadel? Knowing him, how close he is, why the Citadel?
The Citadel is it kind of stuck out to me when I went down there. It's very different than the average college experience. And it's often called the road less traveled, but I believe it's the organization in the college that will best prepare me for the life ahead. As you mentioned earlier, it's not a 4-year plan, it's a 40-year plan. So I believe I will be most prepared coming out of the Citadel once I graduated and finished my football career.
Thank you.
Yeah, Drew, want to congratulate you again. And that Helsinki's Hope, the mental health, that you're not alone, and that we're everybody struggles with mental health at some point in time, and there are people there to help. So if you are one of those people struggling, there's folks to help. And I appreciate you normalizing that mental health and that message, and what a great organization. And that's one of the things that we're all about here is the Bridge Builder Excellence Award. The nominees give Helsinki's Hope an opportunity to talk about Drew, to talk about you and working with you, and to give you some love and respect, but also to get their message out through you, which is fantastic. So you really have been almost like a poster child, if you will, for this program. And I want to thank you and congratulate you for that. The Citadel, we did have the honor of enshrining Stump Mitchell this year. You heard from him a little bit earlier. Incredible but would ask you, what advice would you give to a young freshman at Richard Wynn Academy who wants to be successful there?
I would say definitely have your goals in mind coming into high school. I know you don't always know exactly what you want to do in the future when you're that young, but having those goals is very important to keeping yourself on track. And it also helps you limit the negative influences around you. If you surround yourself with negative influences, you're much more likely to fall into that same trap, to do the stuff that people are doing around you. So I would say it's very important to surround yourself with positive people and positive influences.
That's great, Drew. Evans, let me just follow up real quick, if you don't mind. What were some of the goals, Drew, that you set for yourself?
I definitely always had a goal to play college football, but also had a goal to have high academics, to make sure I put my academics first, and to also stay strong in my faith, stay involved with my church and different organizations, and also to give back to my community through organizations such as Helsinki Hope, and to kind of just lend a helping hand to anybody in need.
That's fantastic. Now, do you have a question for Dexter?
Yes, sir. I would ask, what are the keys to success for a successful transition from high school to college?
Consistent, persistent, and aggressively smart. I call it the CPA. You want to be consistent, persistent, and aggressively smart. What's aggressively smart? Well, there's some people that can be aggressively not too smart, right? And I liken it to a football analogy. Guys, he's on the defensive end, ball is snapped, he's running wild, he runs out of the play, never gets back into the play. Then you got this one guy that can run wild. He ends up always making the play. He's an aggressively smart person. So in life, be consistent in what you're doing, Drew. Be persistent, continue to get up every day, right? You're going to be a knob for a little bit, right? I know where you're going, brother, right? So I've seen y'all on the yard, and you're going to be persistent in that, and you're going to be aggressive in that too, but aggressively smart. So you take those three letters, man, remember those things in life and write down the things that you got to be aggressively smart in doing. You got to get up and keep it moving every day on that campus, right? So just remember, consistent, persistent, aggressively smart.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, Drew, want to congratulate you, wish you well. Anything else before we let you go?
I just want to thank y'all again for this amazing opportunity, and just for recognizing these great 64 nominees for all they've done in the community, in the classroom, and on the field.
Awesome.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you very much. So we appreciate you, and good luck next year. And we'll be thinking about you. So, David, we got anybody?
I'm going to go ahead. I know there's some people hanging on, and we're running a little bit behind schedule, but we're going to stay on until everybody gets a chance to talk, and we want to appreciate you. So I've got Jackson Cole, Colin Goldsmith, Will Patton, and Jordan Thomas. I don't know if all of them are on with us, but is Jackson Cole with us?
Let's see.
And if not, I know I see Colin Goldsmith there.
Yeah, and I got a quick question I'll throw in there while we pull up the next person for Dexter. There was a question that came in. It said, Dexter, what was your why that kept you going?
Great question. My family, my wife, and my kids. Because I went to Clemson in 1988 as a freshman. But I went and played in the NFL, being drafted as a junior year. I got injured. I got a job offer to go to Clemson, but guess what? I didn't have a degree. And so I ended up going back to school in 1998. So my why was always motivated by my wife and the kids, right? Trying to make a better pathway, because nobody cared that I had played football or even professionally. The fact of the matter was I didn't have a degree. So I graduated in 2002. And what motivated me was my wife and the three kids at the time. It ended up being a fourth by the time I left Morgan State University in Baltimore. So that was the why. And they continue to motivate me to this day.
Good stuff. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we're gonna go to Jackson next, David.
Yeah, we got Jackson. I've got Jackson on the list. I've got Jackson Cole, Colin Goldsmith, Will Patton, and Jordan Thomas. I'm not sure if they're on, but
See, I see Colin. Colin, are you on?
Let's grab Colin. Awesome.
Yeah, let me spotlight you, Colin. There we go. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So if you would, as David's been asking everybody, just go ahead and share who you are, what high school you go to, your position, what you're doing next fall.
Yes, sir. So my name is Colin. Went to Travelers Rest High School up here in Greenville. And next year, so I'm graduating this year, and then next year I'm going to be going to Limestone to play baseball. And I'm going to be majoring in pre-physical therapy.
Congrats. So David, Dexter, you got a question for Colin? Who wants to go?
I have a question for Colin, and I want to congratulate you. Travelers Rest, that's where we live. That's where my daughters go to school with you, and they say good things about you, Colin. So your reputation precedes you, and the Devil Dogs. And again, I've been asking a lot of people this same question, and I would throw you a two-part question. First of all, excellence. What defines excellence for you? And then secondly, if I'm a freshman, I'm coming into Travelers Rest, and I want to be successful. How do I do that? I think everybody has a little bit different perspective on that, but what's your perspective?
For me, excellence, I guess I would just say, like, doing your best in like whatever you're going to do. So let's say I'm going to try and be a great football player. Excellence for me is doing my very best, working at like all the time, doing as much as I can to be a great football player. And that's on the field, in the classroom, in the community, everywhere. And then for probably a freshman coming in, I just say, try and follow that motive for excellence. Just work hard in everything you do, pretty much.
Very good. Excellent. Dexter, you got a question?
Yes, Colin. My question to you is, what has baseball taught you about failure?
That's good. It's taught me how to like deal with failure, accepting it, moving on from it, because baseball, it's not a game of success by no means at all. You can fail 7 out of 10 times in the major leagues and still make it to the Hall of Fame. So it's definitely taught me how to deal with it, how to move on, and just how to be a better person because of it.
So,
thank you. Excellent. Do you have a question, Colin, for Dexter?
My question for you is, how did you balance your sports life and regular home life?
A regular home life as a professional, it was because my wife and really kept me grounded in that balance. I didn't do so well in the college. I would challenge you in that space to be mindful of that when you get to college, because you got that free time, right? Mom's gone, dad's gone, so I wasn't as mindful. The support around us was a little different then. Now you've got support mechanism at Limestone. So make sure you use your coaches and your teammates to help you with your time management. One of the cool things about being with the Rams in Los Angeles at that time, I had Isaac Bruce, I had a few teammates that were believers, and of course we were not perfect guys, but we certainly held each other accountable, right? So during those moments, man, where kids will be kids and the boys will be boys and all those things that we hear, make sure that you got your teammate that can hold you accountable, right? That'll tell you the things you don't always want to hear, but it'll tell you the thing that's what's best for you. You got me? Make sure that's the case. Yep. Now, and by the way, Colin, one of my best friends is John Hart, Travelers Rest, 1988 graduate. You know John Hart?
I feel like I've heard the name before.
They own the Taco Casa. That's it.
Yep, that's where I've heard it before.
Cash only at the Taco Casa.
I love it. Thank you, Colin. Thanks for being here and sharing some of your time with us today. We appreciate it. Appreciate you, and good luck next year at Limestone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Colin. Congratulations. I appreciate you being here and everything. And, hey, you're part of the family, so let us know when we can support you and help you.
All right, thank you.
All right, Evans, Dexter, I think we've got I don't know if Jackson Cole is with us or Jordan Thomas or Will Patton. I see
Jordan. There's Jordan. Let's pull him
awesome.
up.
Now, Jordan Thomas is a special friend of ours. His father, Errol Thomas, has been a supporter of this program. And, you know, Errol, when he was at Clemson, was a mentor for a lot of these players, and he's been a mentor to me. And I think Jordan's big brother was part of the Bridge Builder Excellence Award. So he's family upon family and a real special member. And so welcome in, Jordan Thomas. Tell us where you go to school and what position you play.
I go to Fox Creek High School and I play strong safety and running back. And I go to Fox Creek High School.
Fox Creek. Okay. And Evans, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I do want him to have the opportunity to ask Dexter a question because I know he's working on a career. Do you have a question for him, Evans?
I was just going to ask one thing. I know before Mikey jumps in and asks too, like, what are you doing next fall?
What am I doing next fall? I'm planning on going into Citadel, and I plan on trying to be a student assistant in the fall and walk on to the football team in the spring.
Love it. Congrats. So I'll follow up with one of the questions that we've been asking here is that how would you define excellence?
Excellence. That's actually a good question. I've been thinking about that this whole time, actually. Like, I think excellence is when, like, you set a standard for yourself and you start planning on how you want to achieve that goal. When you surpass it, you look back at where you started and you're like, dang, I've surpassed my goal. I've beaten the standard of what I set. And I think that's what the definition of excellence is. Surpassing the standards and achieving what you want, achieving your goals.
Very good. Very good. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Jordan. So, David, do you have a question? Dexter, which one of you guys want to jump in next?
Hey, I followed your career, Jordan, from Fox Creek and some of the things that you were doing early on a couple of years ago. Your dad and I, of course, been friends quite a while. So can you keep up the good work? We pray for you. You're in the right spot. Know Coach Drayden well. If that's your goal, Coach Drayden is going to give you that opportunity. I believe, selfishly, that you're still growing into the player that you're going to be, right? So keep up the good work. Persevere. See it through, right? And the rest is going to take care of itself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jordan, I'd like to ask you a question. Again, I've been asking everyone here that's come through about, I think, just perspectives in life. That's one of the things that I've learned is I can learn from everybody, and I try to learn from everybody. And I know that being a younger brother, sometimes you have the opportunity to see things and to to adjust your life to where you can actually sometimes exceed those around you. I know for me, my brother and sister maybe make mistakes that when I came along, I wasn't going to make those same mistakes. I made my own, but what are the things that you've learned that were mistakes that you were able to avoid?
I think the thing I've seen where me and my brother both were wrong is just that extra gear. It's like the off-season training. You got to make yourself work out. But the one thing I noticed that I've seen a lot of upperclassmen do when I was coming up in high school was that they weren't giving the underclassmen motivation. And that's one thing I always done when I got into, especially to my senior year. When we were trying to do Oklahoma drills and all that, I always would tell them, hey, what are you guys sitting on the sideline for? Get in here. Get on the field. Like, I always want to push them. Always ask me, like, why am I pushing them so hard? My freshman and sophomore year, I didn't get the chance to play. I didn't. I told them, I said, guys, enjoy it while it's here. Because once 1 second you're running, the next minute you're on the ground, you can't move your leg. So the best way I say is just enjoy those times. That's why I tell the underclassmen. I'll try to make sure they're always driven And I do what I think my brother tried to help me with as a freshman before I got injured. Just staying driven, staying focused, and wanting to enjoy the sport while I'm still here.
Good.
One other question for you. How do you or why is it important to you to make good grades?
It is that is the best thing. I think my dad's always told me why having good grades. The best reason is applying to schools. The more you apply, the more you're going to realize how important grades are. It's like, I remember one school, Anderson University. I think you have to have like a 3.0 GPA or probably even higher than that. And they're one of the best schools in the state, like academically, Anderson University. And I had like I had some A's, a B, and I think one C. And at the time, I really wanted to go to Anderson. I was like, dang, if I don't bring the C up, I'm not getting accepted into the school. And I realized real quick. And another example is my brother, he had really, really high grades, and he had a good score on the ACT. And that piqued one of the coaches at Gardner-Webb's. It piqued his interest. He's like, this guy's got a good score, and he also plays football. And it gave my brother an opportunity to walk on at Gardner-Webb. So, like, the better grades, the more exposure or interest a coach is going to get, let alone professors.
That's great opportunity. So, do you have any questions for Dexter?
What motivated you the most? Like, outside, like when you knew football was done, like you said family, but what gave you that even more extra goal? Like how did you make sure? That ain't a good way to ask it, but what always kept you like focused? Like besides just family, like was it like self-motivation? Like I gotta do this. I had to make it powerful. Like what kept you motivated in life?
No, you hit it, Jordan. I've got to do this, right? As I look back on my wife and our kids and the example that I want to leave for them, right? Having to go back to school, having started in 1988, but not having completed the graduation until 2002, right? That was a long gap and a lot had changed, but I wanted to do it for them because I preach to them. Education, start what you finish what you start, right? We hear those things. So for me, it was all about that. And I was able to get that completed, but that motivated me. Thank you for that question.
Sure.
Yeah, that was excellent. Excellent question. Jordan, thank you again for your time today. Thank you for allowing us to honor you today and for being a part of this, and so many good things coming in the future. Excited for you. For sure.
Thank you.
So,
yeah, thank you very much, Jordan. Let's see. God bless you, Jordan. And I'm just going to see if we have any of these other young men with us, Jackson Cole or Will Patton.
I am not seeing Jackson or Will. I don't believe they are here.
Okay,
if you're here, give us a shout real quick, unmute and say hello if you're one of the, but I'm not seeing them on my list. Looks like they're not here.
I was, is Mikey Football still with us? Mike Foster, did we just leave him? Is he here?
Mike knew you were, he bolted. He knew you were
bolted out of here right when I was about to pull him on. What about Michelle Wolford? Is she still around?
There he is.
Mike, there he is.
Yeah, sorry
Michelle's
about that.
Here too.
I'd love to get Mike and Michelle on. I want to thank them both for all of what they do. This is the backbone behind the South Carolina Football Hall of Fame. So Mike Foster, sometimes we call him affectionately Mikey Football. Glad to have you with us.
Yeah, it's been an honor to be a part of this. Obviously, this is our first year trying this kind of setup, and it's been a lot of fun. Dexter, thank you so much to you and the NFL alumni for being a part of this, and then all the young men that have been a part of this as well, and has listened to this presentation. I hope they get out of it. I look forward to getting a video together and sending it out even more to the masses because I think we have some gold here. But one of the things too, I'm so happy for, we mentioned the 64 guys, the 64 young men. We've had a sample of those young men. Of course, you had one doing engineering and double majoring, and you don't hear that. How often do you hear that on a Monday Night Football game or a college game, and they say, "Hey, my name is so and so," and you see general studies underneath their name. This dude's going engineering and double minoring. That's crazy. And David, you know what that engineering at Clemson looks like, right?
For only the first 2 years, and then I gear over to econ.
Mike, come on.
But I'm so proud of all these guys. Obviously, being able to have a chance to interact with a lot of them in this process, and I just want to encourage, first congratulate everybody who's graduating, who's been a part of that list, but also those guys who are underclassmen who are getting a chance to see some of these seniors graduate and still have the recruiting process to go through and all this stuff. I also want to say, hey, come back next year, try and get nominated next year. We'd love to have you back on BBEA25Day. But we love the fact that you already are establishing the foundation for your life, whether it's going to play football at the next level or not, because you got the grades, you're giving back to your community, and you're still having that experience of being a part of a team. And I love the fact that Dexter and Rick earlier and Mr. Neeley, they all trumpeted the team aspect of things and leaning on one another. And if you lean on one another and let people help you, that you all succeed at a high level. And that's what the Bridge Builder Excellence Award is really all about, and this community is all about. It's about bringing not only the ones before you, but also the ones after you as well, and bringing everybody together to have success together. And that's what the Bridge Builder Excellence Award is all about. It's just exciting. This is our 5th class, I guess you'd say, of Bridge Builder Excellence Award nominees. And, we mentioned over 300 student athletes all across South Carolina have been nominated for this award. And so I look forward to seeing more in upcoming years come in and make an impact on this state as we try and fuel this and lead these young men to college and career readiness, and being able to, no matter what, whether you're going to play football or not, or baseball or whatever, at soccer at the next level, you still have the grades and the community aspects to have success either in college or wherever you are workforce oriented, because you already have that foundation established. So proud of everybody involved, proud of Josiah, love that guy being our winner this year. I wish him the very best at South Carolina, and all the guys here. And of course, Jordan, we've known him since he was like 5. So, it's awesome to see now he's graduating and going to college. So it's awesome to see how these young men have grown, and excited to see what they do in the future, because we're going to be there for them. And I'm excited about that.
That's good.
That's great, Mike. That's great, Mike. And I see Michelle. Thank you, Evans, for spotlighting Michelle Wolford. She is incredible. Of course, Michelle grew up in the family of sports, and both her uncle and dad were great sports administrators, coaches, admins, and Michelle's been incredible with us. In fact, one of the things about us is we continue to partner with, major companies and corporations. We appreciate the NFL Alumni. Dexter, thank you for coming in with the shield and supporting us as you have. And Michelle, your expertise We can't quite keep you in South Carolina because you're getting pulled away to the Augusta National. I know you're going to Paris to work with major brands. I mean, your expertise in the sports and brand management is just so welcome here, and your passion for what we're doing here to help raise the level of education and preparedness for these kids. But I want to bring you in, Michelle, and just have you talk a little bit about, why do you think this is important, and why are you taking your incredible resume and expertise and lending it to the Football Hall of Fame and our Bridge Builder Excellence Award program?
Sure. Yeah. My experience, obviously, being in college athletics and raising scholarship dollars for collegiate players was all about education and knowing that we can change a person's life and the trajectory of their life through education. And the thing that is so exciting about the Bridge Builder Excellence Award program is it is a statewide effort, and getting nominations from all over the state and celebrating these great players and all the things they do off the field in their communities, hoping that they inspire one person. That's all it takes. And if they do that, then, like I said, changing one person at the time, and that we get to do that statewide over and over again, is so important, just because I believe in the platform of education and like I said, celebrating all these things, what these players are doing off the field as much as they are on the field. Like I said, just to inspire, even if it's just one person, knowing that this platform can change somebody's life or the trajectory or what they're thinking, or if they can do it, I can do it too. That's certainly the message that we want the program to represent and to spread throughout the state.
That's awesome. Yeah. Dexter, do you have any questions for Michelle?
No, I'm intrigued. Notre Père de show to the Soixante, right?
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Having lived in France for a couple of years as a head coach there, I just love I think the beauty of what we're doing is how we can take that football, right, and have that influence across the world. We take it from right there in Travelers Rest, right there in Gilbert, right there at J.O. Mann High School, and take that same ball to Paris, and we have the same influence. We throw a whistle on a guy and tell him to blow it and bring the football, same response. And I think that as we grow, and I love the passion that you have. I've known David over the years, and the move, being immersed into it is totally different. I'm celebrating Lost Without Words of how much impact you're going to have for our state, right? I'm really passionate about the state of South Carolina, but also passionate about how it can make a difference globally. And for what you do, what is the name of your company? How can players, retired and current, get involved in what you're doing?
Well, I mean, what we obviously being involved with the Hall of Fame, what we keep saying is we are trying to certainly partner with people all over, and especially with this Bridge Builder Excellence Award. We keep saying we've identified great people and great players and great talent, whether they play at the next level or not. And so we'd love to take the mission of the Hall of Fame, obviously the connectivity of the game of football, and connect people, connect companies, connect brands, connect employers, connect employees, because we think through this organization and this great game and the love of it in the state, that we can be a great connector to, like I said, companies, brands, players, students, and create some great things together.
Perfect. So consider NFL Alumni South Carolina. We are a strategic partner, and we'll look forward to figuring out how we can go even further. Thank you.
Perfect. Yes.
Awesome. So is there anybody on? I don't think there's anybody on that we haven't called in, but I am going to, if there's some people that we can't see that are waiting, because again, I want to congratulate the 64 nominees this year for the Bridge Builder Excellence Award. Thank you for the way you live your life. You are part of the solution. we do believe that we can get to the top 10 in the country in college and career readiness by, as Levon says, a goal a goal without a deadline is just a wish. And so our deadline is December 31st, 2030. We've been on this for a while. As I mentioned to you before, we've got hundreds of people that have signed that pledge. You can sign it on our website at scfootballhof.org. And the Bridge Builder Excellence community, we're building this community of bridge builders. That's what we are here in South Carolina. We're doing the best we can do, and we're encouraging you to do the best you can do. You know, you're the only you that there is, you know, and only you can do what you were born to do. Nobody else can do that. And so that's what we believe. We want you to be the best you can be and to step into your purpose, to find your purpose. You know, Evans has been a mentor of mine since I was in high school. I remember watching Evans playing basketball at J.L. Mann and then at Clemson. And he's done a lot of cool things. He's been on tour with Cyndi Lauper as a music engineer, sound engineer. And he's really just an incredible role model for me. He helped me get to where I am. And Dexter, I see you doing the same thing. And Mike and Michelle have both been mentors for me. And, you know, that's all we're all about, is just trying to get better every day. So thank you all for being bridge builders. We want to encourage everybody to be bridge builders with us, part of this Bridge Builder Excellence community, SC Top 10 in 2030. And Evans, I will let you, I guess, Dexter, if you have a last word, you and Evans take us out of here.
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick and then let Dexter go. But I just want to thank you all. I just want to thank all the students who have been on here today to share, the ones who weren't here. Like I shared earlier, I know we're here to honor them, but it feels like an honor to me to be able to be here sharing their story and what they're doing out there. And I loved what Michelle said, because each one of these students, that they are creating positive ripple effects out in the world. So by their individual actions, they are creating a better world for each of us here in the room. So thanks again for each of you. And yeah, I'm excited. So Dexter, I'll throw it to you, but appreciate each of you and appreciate all of you on the screen for helping make this thing happen too as well.
Thank you, Evan. As an NFL alumni, you know, our mission is to care for our own, care for community, and care for kids. So as we continue to do that, we look forward to forging ahead with the South Carolina Football Hall of Fame. You can have my word on that, David and team. Just excited. So I'll end with this, just like we began. Now to him who can do all things above and beyond, all we can expect, think, or imagine, according to his power that dwelleth in all of us, for all generations to come. Amen.
Amen. God bless you.
God bless you.